Hey y'all, it's Redneck Biker. Thought I'd do a little night vlogging. Stopped here for just a second to make an adjustment to some of my equipment, and right here in front of my favorite tattoo studio here in Fayetteville, Arkansas, Brainstorm Tattoo. If you ever need a tattoo, go in there and see Josh. So I kind of thought I would do a nighttime vlog response, maybe a little bit different than what we're used to seeing in the KLR community. Usually I'm out on the dirt somewhere. But I did this in response to Mason ADV's recent video about the 3 reasons why he bought a KLR. And for me, I never owned a motorcycle until I was in my late 40s. This being the first motorcycle I ever bought, which I bought in 2013. This is a 2012 KLR 650. So, I don't know if a lot of people do this, but I kind of lurked on the KLR650.net forums for a long time, and because I wasn't sure about what I wanted, I just kind of looked around at all kinds of different motorcycles, but I soon came to the conclusion that I didn't want something that I just got to ride in one plane. And I didn't want something that was just dirt. I didn't want something that was just street. I wanted to be able to go moderately long distances without having to have a trailer or buy a fucking motorcycle the size of a Honda Civic. And so the KLR just kind of stood out to me versus all the others. And I think at first when I was looking at the KLR, I thought, man, all these people in here are having all these problems with fixing it and all that stuff. Oh, by the way, I'm on Dixon Street in Fayetteville. This is where Bikes, Blues, and Barbecue is, if y'all ever come to Bikes and Blues. But anyway, so I thought at first that a lot of people just were had all this trouble and difficulty with their motorcycles, but I soon came to the realization that hey police, that hey girl, that y'all were just fucking weird and fixing, just like you bought this brand new motorcycle, but then you were ripping everything off of it and fixing it all up, and that's what you were doing versus it being broken. And I thought, man, that's pretty cool. You can customize it as you go. It didn't cost a lot to begin with. One of the similarities between myself and Mason ADV is that I bought mine sight unseen. I found it on Craigslist, and it was at a dealership. And so I called the dealership. I made an offer over the phone. Up in Springfield, Missouri, they did that shit where you're like, oh, well, let me call you back and crap. And so I told them when I made my first offer, it was my only and final offer. Because, I don't like that whole dicking around bullshit. I know what I'm willing to pay, and I know what the bike's worth. I've done my research by the time I've called somebody. And so he was like, yeah, I think we'll take your offer, blah, blah, blah. So I drove up, got it. Oh, and by the way, I didn't know how to ride. No clue. Never been on a motorcycle in my life other than the MSF class. So the MSF class for me consisted of 4 hours on a Saturday and 4 hours on a Sunday, and we didn't do any riding in the street. So I went and got it, brought it home, parked it in my garage. I looked at it for about a week. I thought, holy shit, I gotta ride this thing. So the first thing I do is I take it for a spin around the neighborhood in a pair of shorts and a t-shirt, and I dropped it. So, I think, so I guess that's reason 1 and 2. One is, you know, it was affordability and all the things that you could do with it. That was just my main attraction. The second main thing was that it would be so easy just to go wherever I wanted to go. And in Arkansas, here we are at Razorback Stadium, Donald Reynolds Razorback Stadium. It's pretty cool. All this part you see here in the front is just a new addition to it. I think they did that within the last maybe 2 years or so. And there's all the, here I'm gonna get in trouble, but here's all the Razorbacks. What? Wild band of Razorbacks. I just did not ride on the pavement. So then I could go anywhere on it, you know, like I knew like I could go check out waterfalls, I could ride all the dirt roads and stuff, and I thought, to me, that was fucking a blast. And then my third concern was because, oh shit, there's police again. That was so close. Anyway, so what was I saying? Anyway, so was maintenance costs, and you know, all these other, like a Harley, and like I didn't want to have to like pay somebody to work on my shit. And so even though I didn't know anything about motorcycles, I didn't know anything, I didn't even know how to ride one. You know, I didn't know certainly how to work on one. I thought, you know, anything with a carburetor and stuff I could probably handle. And I handle a lawnmower, right? This has got one cylinder. The lawnmower's got one cylinder. It makes sense. So that's, I guess, part 2 of my, you know, that's really what attracted me. I guess part 3 would be the maintenance costs. I could do it all myself, and I have. I mean, I have not let a mechanic touch my bike once, other than to put tires on it, only just because, you know, I don't have a, you know, a way to balance it. I don't have a way to, you know, put the tires on. I could probably still manage out in the field putting a tire on with no problem now, but originally that was like a concern. So that's it for me. Like, and truly, I think I use my KLR the way that it's intended. You know, I ride it to work sometimes. I ride it, man, the police are everywhere. I ride it to work sometimes. I ride it mostly on the weekends with my buddies that have KLRs. Yeah, kind of like the whole thing that, you know, the delusional page, that's really cool. You know, I contribute under my real name, not my Redneck Biker account thing, because I don't remember the password for it. But and then there's a guy on there, I forget what his last name is, but he posts my videos on the delusional page sometimes too, which is cool. I appreciate that. But those are my reasons. Those are my 3 main reasons. Is just because it's something that like I was attracted to, the maintenance costs and just the funability, if that's not even a word, but just the pure fun of the motorcycle. And I don't know what the cops are doing on Sunday night, but they're just fucking everywhere. So, whatever. But yeah, so like, and I guess you know, we're supposed to shout somebody out at the end of this, and that would be also, I'll have to carry on what Mason said, and somebody else from the delusional page needs to get on their motorcycle and tell us why they like the KLR so much. There are 3 reasons. And just kind of follow up what Mason said as well, is I'm not selling this bike like ever. Like, there's no reason to. You know, I may buy another motorcycle, you know, maybe something like, if I bought another motorcycle right now, it would be an Indian. But that's a whole nother vlog. But thanks for watching. Mason, good shout out. And we'll see y'all next time.